All right, yeah, so we're gonna go ahead and get started. Welcome to series 3. This is our body series. This is our session 1. And today we're going to be talking about a type of class. It's the name of our actual series. So you're gonna see this quote a lot. So, all right. Such a class. So you're gonna see this quote here a lot. First impression or last impression. And we'll talk more later about what that means. So first up, I'm gonna pass it over to Judy. Member. Next person. Oh.
So I introduced Colin Foster.
Yeah.
So you'll know.
Okay, so me and Kayla is being from Dating Austin. And the objective is basically to identify the players who don't participate. While the foster category, they're looking on the amount of girls that frequently want to maybe do the so everyone knows their work, their role. We're gonna basically together a little bit of right, how other people do it. In possible, we're gonna write the word. We're gonna write the people on our children's paper. And then further one to the possible, write 3 words that is not the key word. So those who are think that word is not the key word is obviously. And we'll go around in the circle and kind of start with whoever. And say the words to describe the word I was given to. And whoever kind of gets thrown off, and let's say the key word is cat, and what says Cecily. Arms, like the opposite of that. So then we go out and who we think
So how do you know really possibly that possible?
because the imposter, everyone will get it from little bit of a word, but it's get out of the world, and everyone can look at their word. And then the imposter will know what it's going to be.
How do you let the imposter know each round without everyone else, like, you can't take them to the side and say, or not to the word.
Yeah, so they will, essentially, they will all think of it. Thinking that they all. Everyone is one part. The majority of people have. So. I just don't.
Let's play. So we can help you do that.
But I think maybe because I think we kind of ours have 3 imposters in 1 round. I think maybe we could go like 3 rounds to pick 1 imposter each round. I really want me and my friends to play it, but to get the word down with some app.
Right, and that's what I'm used to, because I played it once, and everyone, either got the word or they said you're the imposter, so we need a similar way to let everybody know this is the word, or let that person know that they're the imposter without making it obvious. So that's what we need to work through. How do you let someone know without the phone down with the phone?
Maybe when you switch around the phone, so
I'm gonna go by 2 pieces of a little asterisk. And just have that on it. I don't want to paper that they choose.
So you'll need a slip of paper for everyone to pick up. So if you have a bowl and all of it is the same word and then one's empty, then you would need enough for everyone that was participating to be able to pick up their thing, either has a word or has a posture, and everyone looks at it as if they got the word and we can move forward like that. But you have to do it for every round. You have to know how many people you.
That's good, and then I was also to that, with scrap, it's a person. They're also. Because that's
We gotta do it. Like that, should be.
Emergency one round. Hey.
You ready to lead this? You know how to do it? But I think on the app too, yeah.
And also, like, show me, you know, the whether I have it, so we're gonna fix out the policy.
Yeah, you should already probably have put the paper already cut out and pre-written and maybe you just have to do some more people, but you should probably have everything prepared, you know, to go into it.
But the IWN members the day as well. So that's like.
And once we get, not through this first part, but now we gotta make sure like, how do we go in a circle? How do we like, give those instructions on what do we say? Okay, because we got past this part, this is the first part, so thank you. Everyone takes up a piece of paper, you either have a word or you have a blank sheet. If you have something that's blank, and that lets you know you're the imposter, and then what? Then. Yes, in the circle? Okay.
Well, that's how I imagine it.
I would say.
It was, when I got it, like, you know, like, chair.
Are you saying Dan?
Yeah.
Thanks for the input. I was like, oh, you guys.
Even my kind of phone, which was very. They could have. It's. Who is it? One. Or it's not, and then. Something else. That's what.
Mattia?
Yes. Does she want to? It was like, I think it's supposed to be 8. Does it not?
I put one away, but I put one away.
That's okay. It's okay. I do have to like do the extra.
Natural.
Yes. That's all, but
Wait, so should we have some hospitals or?
one. Is the idea that we're playing all together,
Yeah.
so then that also might take more time, so maybe we won't have to do multiple rounds.
Yeah.
Like when we play with them, I'm saying, as opposed to, because it was like a smaller crowd, then, okay, you say your word, you say your word, oh, she kind of sounded a little iffy. And of course, we're still gonna share in, but if you sound, if we still only have 3 or 4 people to go with, whereas if it's like 20 of us, 25 of us, and you shared, you sound iffy. Okay, now we still got 15, 16, 18 more people to go through, so it'll take up more time.
I think we plan for one.
Like now, we're
The imaginary.
How does it roll? Did it take a long time to go through?
Well.
Yeah, but that's-
We went through 3 rounds of questions.
But it goes a lot.
I have to show you guys what you got. So we just. And then it's moving forward.
Okay.
Oh.
So, I figured we'll go through this.
Okay, so now we just start with the regular. I'll go first. Just you describe one word.
These one word.
Use one word to describe this. But it can't be anything that's too obvious. Anything that's. Um. Somewhere. Oh, well, we're seeing something, like, you can say whatever, wait.
A word or a phrase.
You think?
So,
Okay, okay. I don't know, what should we do? Oh, okay, I'm sorry, I think, like a word or like a short phrase.
okay.
Okay, yeah, somebody.
Here, space. Whoa.
Oh, my bad, my bad. A place. That you enjoy.
Somebody can have fun. Oh, I think also what would be fun is if you can say certain words, probably impossible, impossible, things like that. So we just have to go there. I have an idea, maybe, yeah, I'm talking about on regional. So I think this one.
This second round.
Wait up.
Okay, okay. Oh, it's after everyone's second birthday.
Place where you can, like,
That's it, that's it.
Yeah. Okay. So, who wants to start off with the double check? Okay, I vote Ashley gets the positive.
say.
Wait.
Everybody gotta get, oh.
Okay, okay, if you agree to Ashley then positive, or if anyone else has, maybe. If you agree that me, or, okay, if you agree that I'm.
Who else has a vote? That's the one.
Yeah.
Oh,
I think it's about people have.
That count.
Oh,
No, first, how many people think it's good?
how many think it's Ashley? Okay, and how many? Okay, so I guess, so actually, can I say my word now?
You scared?
I can okay, the one I got, the word I got is dorm. So I'm actually not being responsible.
I got dorm.
Oh.
Jay got dorm too.
I said roommate.
That's why you say confidential, right?
Wait, no,
Why?
just say in law.
So she said she's scared. Wait, hold on.
Yeah.
You have to do the imposter.
Yeah, so I know what I'm ready.
I thought you put a little action.
Oh.
So I'm just put like a little, I don't know the word impossible, but you put like a little, like, it's all action. That's nice. Well, yeah, do that, but like, add me a little action. Don't you?
Okay.
It's right at the bottom.
Okay, Jack, what I think is you want to, let's do it right. That's coming, Jack, friend, Mike.
Oh. Well, she already did, thank you.
And only, okay, I want you guys to explain the whole thing. I will be there on Saturday.
That's the thing, you're gonna have to explain it.
Well,
You're
yeah, those things-
gonna be sitting there looking like, what's going on?
Okay. Oh, never mind. That was okay.
That's what people do here all the time.
She just got to go, but she's fine, she don't need to know nothing. They did.
Like, what kind of?
At the,
Or the community center. Oh, no, I swear to God, that's gonna be. But I have to be-
Kayla, you will be there?
Yes. Everyone.
Everybody was fine.
Yeah, I remember you dealing with high school kids.
I'm trying to do this. Have you, I was ready. Can I hear you?
Yeah, I did.
Fast. Right here. I don't know. I could barely hear you. I mean, I want something. Well, I can hear you. Did it? Oh, no, good. I feel like what is on the phone. I feel like I can say. It's like, it's like, oh, it's like, it's very.
Yeah, I just.
Like, acting like, all like, back in high school, like. I can't even do it. I'm like, whispering, but.
That's what we say.
Whispering,
Things.
But I love it. It's just so much society. That's the thing. Yeah. Figure it out. Did you do, is it nine? Yeah. Oh, my bad, I'm doing pretty. Well, she looked at.
Just be like, write everything out.
Okay. So, everyone want to
They follow the instructions first.
okay.
Like, I'll go, Kayla, go ahead.
Yes.
Hi, guys, so welcome. Oh, sorry. Hi, guys. Hi, I'm sorry. Hi, guys, welcome to, what do I say?
Wait, why don't you let her talk?
Yeah, no, oh, that's true, yeah. Good morning, my name is Kayla. I am currently a sophomore, and today we are doing a tour of KSU. But first, we want to get to know you guys, so we're going to do an icebreaker. And the name of this icebreaker is called Imposter. And basically what imposter is everyone gets a word within a category, and you have to kind of figure out who doesn't have that word. And so how you play it is everyone goes around and picks a word on a piece of paper, and one person has the word imposter, while everyone else has the actual word. And then we all get in a circle, and you have to say a word that's related to the word on the paper, but don't say the word that's on the paper, and you don't say anything that's too obvious. So for example, if the word is
let's say lunch, you could say, um, eating, but don't say the word lunch. And basically, once you've gone around twice, you vote on who you think the imposter is. And if the imposter is still in, they win. And if we vote the imposter out, we win.
Now facilitate.
And now I'm here in spirit, so.
One note, one note. So they can say a word or phrase, right?
All right, so everyone.
Like my foster.
So you have someone. Actually, or wait, does it have to be in your? No, you don't. Okay. You know, so.
So,
Okay, well, continue to speak. You're right.
okay, so we're all going to stand in a circle. And then I'm sorry, you can say a word or a phrase.
I know, I was like.
Be this in.
Older. Hard. Not adopted. Hospital. All obsolete. Student.
All right.
I think so, this is one for. Thank you. What? Oh, that's two.
No, I see.
Okay, you gotta pick one of those. It's only one imposter.
I'm right there when I said.
Yeah.
So she doesn't drop this name here. So she, yeah. So she was. I thought it was.
Did you do?
Oh, so.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, no, it's my.
Bro, you didn't do the extra on the thing.
No, that's what they posted.
Oh, I didn't post it.
Didn't come to right.
I didn't like it once, man.
Yeah, you didn't want to start?
Yeah.
We need this person to vote for this.
It got started, they had to be right there. We're gonna do that as, you know, go keep that person.
I don't even like
Well, I'm looking at the room.
What?
Right, so where do you start?
No,
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, it should be because it's a large group, at least two.
Wait, what did I say? I'm there.
Oh, I knew it was something. I'm like, no.
And so did you have,
Are we sure?
they have to use the context to try to stay
Okay.
in the loop.
Yeah.
But if you give them a completely new word, they'll start singing something related to that word, and it's gonna stand out even more. So if they think it's positive, and I'm listening, okay, I hear it, I'm here, this is the word I'm gonna say here.
Yeah, oh, actually, it's a. Oh, okay, okay.
Okay,
I'm like leaving up to them, like,
Okay.
Everyone knows which one.
yeah, right.
Thank you.
And then it was like,
I learned.
And like, I'm reading them, I didn't be like, hi, what's your name? You're writing name tag.
No, they read their own.
So I didn't say hi.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I give you all the tabs.
you gotta stop.
You know, that's
But you want them to go to college.
You are friendly. You can't just have them come in and y'all sitting on the back of your phone.
Oh, yeah, everybody's to the front of the line. Not the line.
All right, everybody's good on that. It's gonna be here on that. That's, I think that's actually a pretty good game.
It'll be fun.
When you get it, right?
Never mind. Okay.
Oh, you.
So here is the April wrap up. We're in our last series of the semester. So Saturday is gonna be the Community Academy Day. We're gonna go on a tour, go to campus, we're gonna go things with them. April 9th is gonna be our session two of this series, where we're gonna have someone come in and do the formal etiquette. How to present ourselves at a formal table when we are having tea. April 16th will be brush and bond, so. That will be in this room. That will be in this room, we're providing everything, you guys just come out, be ready to pay, have fun, there'll be food. And. Yeah, just enjoy our last session of this first semester, and these are just some cute pictures of us. From last semester, I think, Cindy, she's gonna bring this back, okay? She will finish this over. Yeah, start. And this is from last semester's, Dave Community Academy and Debbie Thompson. And this is us at the team class. So. All right, so I told you before that the name of this series is A Touch of Class. And our foundation scripture for this is let all things be done decently and in order. And where this idea came from is that if we look around society today, what people dress like, what people look like, and how they present themselves, we see that standards and decorum have completely been lost for the most part. People don't know how to present themselves in public. They don't know the decorum in certain settings. So what I mean by decorum is, if you go into a funeral, there's a certain way or a certain protocol that you should operate by when you go into that setting. You shouldn't be on your phone listening to reels or, you know, back in the back joking around. Someone did. We have to treat those type of atmospheres with respect. And so we want to bring that back. We want elegance to be restored back into our young women. So that's what we are here to do. You all, people have poured into us. Let us know what the standards are, how we should present and uphold ourselves with posture we should walk in. So that's what we're looking with you all. And God requires all things to be done decently. We know from reading our word that God operates in order and protocol. He has ways that he does things. The more you get to know him, you'll understand his ways. And so that's what we mean by all things should be done decently. So what is etiquette? So etiquette is defined as the customary code of polite behavior in society among members of a particular profession or, you get that right? So some synonyms of this can be right protocol, having banners in any given setting, and just doing things. Having decency. Dress, speak. Any questions? All right, so today we're gonna talk about professional etiquette. So how should you carry yourself in a professional atmosphere? It's very important for you all as you're starting to go out to interview for jobs, as you go into these networking events, as you're trying to graduate, and go get a job. This is important. So we're gonna talk about the 3 Ps, these are the 3 elements that play into this professional etiquette piece. So presentation, preparation, and personality. So, like I mentioned at the beginning, this phrase here, first impressions are last impressions. The first impression that you make on someone is very hard to undo. So if you present yourself in a negative light, it's gonna take you a long time to try to overcome that. A lot of interactions with that person. But if you go in from jump and you present yourself in a direct light, in a positive light, then that will stick in a person's mind. And that's who they will see you as. Right? So, it's a good open dialogue. Ask you guys questions. So, when I say presentation, I'm saying how you present yourself physically to society in a professional setting. So if you were going to go to a network, how would you show up and present yourself? So can someone tell me why does presentation matter?
If you don't.
It shows people that you're serious about whatever it is you're there for and that you have enough care to, show up like well dressed, actually put effort into how you present for that.
Okay. What does presentation matter? What settings?
Business, education.
That's good. Y'all agree with that? In the classroom? What you mean?
So, as you said initially, right? In this day and age, presentation has kind of been, or etiquette has kind of been overlooked in a lot of ways. And so I said I'd be a hypocrite because I'd be lying if I said that I haven't worn sweats to the classroom, to go to class, right, early in the morning, or if I, what is it called? Well, most of that way, right, I haven't always just put on a fit to go out, go to class, morning, 12, whatever. So that, and I think a lot of people definitely, you will see a lot of things walking around 5 days.
Yeah.
I remember he works at, my boyfriend, he works at Walmart and he will text me, he'd be like, there's a girl wearing a swimsuit top there. It might was winter, he's telling me this in October. So it's it doesn't fit the time, mood, the location, the place. So it's it's been lost. And some people are oh, I'm just running in for one thing, and that's kind of the argument again. But then there's that idea of you go out and people are gonna see you and you don't want to be perceived, badly, like Megan said. So.
That's like all the time. I remember this one time, I don't know if it was on the bridge or something, this lady, and she was well, I'm not getting enough funds. And she got pulled over and she got some. So things like that, I feel like it always, should always come up. At least halfway, even if you don't have halfway.
But yes, never said you want to present well. And I would say for you guys, especially in the classroom, because you're in front of your professors. They see, they're making character judgments on it. You go to that professor to ask for a letter of reference. Okay, how is this person showing up every day? Grades might be great, but your physical presentation might. Right? When you Walmart, you never know who you're gonna run into. That elevator pitch down. You practiced it. Well, but you look like you just woke up out of bed. That doesn't match. So at least have some type of decency and respect, not only for those that you're in front of, but respect. Guys, put down gifts and talents in every single one. I don't want those things to be overshadowed. I'm telling you.
I didn't know whether it was gonna be. That was, he literally popped up on the top.
She was ready though. She had a full ball. She was ready.
Okay, you get that.
And literally, let me tell you that, took a long time. So, we had the conference, the church conference in Florida, where a lot of people that were listening to the ministry of me saying we had, and like, a lot of people just find them. And so we met every summer in Florida, and we always had like a formal attire night. And this particular night, typically it's either like you wear all black or you wear black and gold. This one, they said they want everyone to wear white, all white. And I'm telling you, like, preparing for this particular conference, I have no idea what people do, but I was like, oh man, I really look up my stress. I'm like scouring and, oh man, I really, typically when you go to school, you have to braids because you have to be in the water. I really have to be sewing. I don't know why, but I want this dress, I want to sew it, I want full makeup, I'm gonna get nails done. You know what, let me go get some new shoes. I mean, I'm telling you, like, I just was preparing for months. Stepped in. What's up? When he saw me, and he was like, I saw you, I was like, what's that? And I was like, yeah. But it's literally like things like that where the Lord will place on your heart, like He was placed on my heart many years, just to know my style, know how to, accentuate in a classy way my features, to know what compliments my body. So I've been going through the whole process, but that whole process culminated, I'm like, sure. Ooh.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's pretty.
Okay, so
That's pretty.
Wait, this is all right.
Yeah. All the years I had my braids in, I didn't care about the dress, it was like whatever. That year, I don't know why. But it matters. And even how you represent, like, going forward in a relationship, like, looking out to dinner, somebody, like, okay, I think we have done. And you know what really did it? I'm gonna tell y'all, this one, when I met her, she was dressed, makeup, head to toe, and she would wear heels to the bathroom, and I'm like, I thought we were wearing sneakers, but she would look airy. I was like, just put the makeup on, and I might go out with her because she making me look. Stop. I mean, every time I saw her, I was like, oh, look at your closet. Just go in and, flash what you got going on my face. She was, I mean, from the moment I met her, I was just like, I always pretend she was cute, I asked. Things have changed. Yeah, so it matters. It matters.
You guys make judgment calls from each other all day long. Whether you want to say it out loud or not, somebody coming through with a blame on you, gonna be looking like, where's she going? All right, next question. Has the idea of how women should present in public changed over the years? How?
I think maybe it's in the atmosphere, like people. I think that this is actually.
Will say, it wasn't always that case, but when I got saved, I feel like we were the testimony. So maybe like, you know how to put stuff together, do that, put that together, that goes with that. So all of that, that comes in time. But what I had seen when I first got saved was like, it had changed. Like when I wasn't saved, I was dressing just like the world was dressing. The crop tops, short shorts, whatever, because that's the way that did that too. And so I saw, so whatever, that wasn't God, and it wasn't of God, and he will correct you. And he did. And just to say that if you don't know, you don't know. That's why we're sitting here. You know, this wasn't an issue back in the sixties and seventies a lot of the times, because if you look back at those pictures, they dressed. They went out the house, and even if they didn't, they put on some clothes. They were going, their hair was gonna be done, they were gonna be at the, what they call the hairdresser. Yeah, that's my hairdresser. That Rover said it. So just, it has changed over time, and you can see it, all of that going away. All of that having class, wanting to put on clothes, wanting to put a little makeup on, and present yourself well, it's going away. I was talking to my husband today, and I'm like, I was trying to think, you saw the other day, I was thinking about my son, and I'm like, they're not going to class in that way. My husband's like, you just have to let him figure it out on his own. I was like, nah, he should, it was like, he's gonna be just dressed in J. Crew every day, go to school. I was like, maybe.
Look, her and her husband, they have a brush in this pocket, it's no pocket, and every time that little boy runs. Move his hairline. No,
He got it.
and then he run back and start. Pulling a chocolate, here you go, here you go, here you go. Here.
All that, the simple, you teach them up, you train them up in the way they should go, right?
I don't think that it's about.
Yeah.
It's just all where I'm the I was raised, he's from the UK. He's from the UK. Every day he was something about it. As a fellow, we're in charge. I was like, this is a basketball, he's in high school, and like, you know,
I tell you, one thing I can say too on that, while I was, because I had seen myself, you know, being in the talk, you know, you get comfortable. And if you know, look at the atmosphere, you'll conform to that atmosphere. Tell me why I'm gonna make a story like that. When I met this guy, he was like a double major, studying to be like something like fancy. And I found myself like interested in him, and I looked at, you know, all the holes and punches, and people were attacking and button down, and because we had work, and I was like, man, even just to, I can't even step to him, you know, I shouldn't be stepping to him, but like, it's not compatible when I had the intellect. You know, academically was up to his part, like I can deal with him, I can level, but he looked at me like, you know, what do you want? Like, you think about the type of husband that you want, the career and profession that he might be going into, and you interact with him, and he already got 3 internships and, you know, 2 majors and trying to get 2 degrees, and then he comes to the getting cut down. I was like, if this would be something I would aspire to, like, why am I pressing down? You know, and it threw me off even unsaved. I was like, he's a pretty cool guy, and I'm over here looking like a bum. Like, you know, like, how does that work?
I think it flows from inside out a lot of times. We're dressing like.
now I gotta go on the shopping spree. I mean,
But you will notice, I'm telling you, pick one day to get dressed up in professional. And you will notice that you will get a different type of response to you. You'll get the, hey, miss, such and such. You know what I'm saying? Because you're showing respect not only for yourself, but respect for your environment. They're gonna treat you differently.
Act crazy. They don't, you know, they might say something to y'all, but they let us know. Okay. I don't hear you.
Dead silence. I'm like, maybe that was wrong. I think I'm too old. I don't know, but whatever the case may be.
But it was at this college, there were certain guys that were in the peer group and they knew me. But once I just stepped out and was like, this is what I'm doing, you know, I'm coming back from the conference and I'm gonna pull the razor and dress, go into the comments. It was like, when just a couple months ago would have been like, yeah, shut up. It changed, and once I set that standard and I maintained it, then people do to. That's true, because I think, you know, this was like, where I used to always ask myself, like, oh, why do I do this? I don't see the late things, I don't see the girl, yeah. And I just had to think long and hard to make to have some type of respect for myself when they don't, and they see it, so they're gonna be approachable. Yeah. And you know, the year as a person, they'll like, and they talk about like how they like found themselves, and even though we like, I like the way that you could say and stuff.
I think something needs to be said about like being different, like in society, because I feel like being different is so looked down upon. Like you have an opposing opinion than like another person, and sometimes like I cannot to like culture, right? Because for us, like you're not allowed to like disagree with authority. But then when you get up here, just like people are constantly, especially like in America, right? In the business, right? It's like you're supposed to like have an opinion, you're supposed to kind of like combat in a way, but when so it's just like, I don't know, having an opinion, being different essentially is a good thing. And my like how I remember my sister, I don't remember who, so it was like, it's okay to be different and not essentially like accustomed to the world, right? And being okay with that. So not being like, not thinking the same way as other people, because I feel the same way, for instance, like there'll be people, you know, they hand out flowers on the green, the things on the, whatever on the green. And I'm walking, going by straight, no silence. Sometimes I even pretend I'm on the phone, because I just don't want to be bothered. But either way, I'm not being bothered. And you know, freshman year, people are like, oh, like a flower. But now I'm just like, you giving me a flower is not going to change how I view myself, confidence that I have, the presence that I have. And that's what a lot of girls don't really think about, I feel like. Like they're kind of just like, kind of like the freshman year me that's like, I want a flower too, shit, I don't flower come across it, like, yeah, but it's okay to be different, to have whatever you do have, because that's a God-given gift.
It's just like people do it like especially when it's something like a party, fraternity, whatever, so like, well, they have to go dollar and it's so they say some exception, you be 20 and you have to be there for 5.
This is the thing. I don't want you guys to ever get dressed for somebody else. You gotta get dressed. Look good, you feel good. That's what I always like to say. So even when it comes to an interview, especially a virtual one, I get fully dressed. I put the heels on, I'm just at the house. Because you want that feeling, it gives you a confidence, you know, I'm not getting dressed for anybody else, get dressed for me. Because this is what makes me feel good, you know what I'm saying? And I have somebody to represent. I have the Lord Jesus Christ to represent, I also have my husband to represent. Okay, so remember that when you are about to get there, getting there, your representation. All right, conversations. So it doesn't matter in a professional setting, we just discussed that. Yes, I have people to play that I work with, that come to work. I see one girl kind of like a little crop top on, I'm like, ain't no way. You came in here like that, you did not come in here like that. It's just gone, it's gone, and then one time we had to return back to office after work, oh, I get it. Maybe you didn't have workout clothes, came back in full yoga pants, full workout to a professional office setting. Don't do that, y'all. Don't, because just like your peers, you have supervisors and managers. You're talking about you want a promotion. How are you presenting to the rest of the workplace? Always keep that. This stuff is So, here's some rules. So I want you guys to tell me which one is professional. If you had a job in, or you're going to some professional networking, which one would you pick? Or this one over here? That's already part of it. Yeah. What's wrong with this? That's short.
That's too short, and the heels, I can't really tell, but she look. Sorry. The new suit.
Is that?
I remember that was
This is too short. If this was down, mid-knee, right here, that'd be good. And she had stockings. Stockings, and elevate. This is just the no. Don't ever wear this to anywhere, to the workplace. Actually, holy jeans, I had to learn. And but had to be taught, holy jeans, they make you look ratty. I don't care what kind of cute stuff. You look ratty.
Lots of the jeans.
Then you try to wear a little cuter. That's I'm wrong, maturity has to keep. Yeah. So once you got graduated, make a little money, go that old stuff. I can't wait. I can't wait.
That's the quality pieces. Yes, that's that.
Oh, last year's.
We'll make that about my place.
And my stuff is too big, get it tailored. I'm telling you, tailored clothes, it changes the entire look. Go to a sneaker. They're taking me, my grandma used to take me.
You got sexy dresses, they work on it. And then I wear it, it's like, it's you. Okay, that's it. You know, comments, it's just, 47 days.
So I'm gonna say, these two women right here will attract different people. Different perspectives.
I feel like it don't matter what, sometimes it don't even matter what you got on,
Yeah.
like, they'll find a thing.
Why would you be looking for the wine? Yeah.
Well, yeah, cause then they,
But it has to be
It's been, we'll see, but it's been, we can do it together in the beginning, but they don't come.
Yeah.
They don't.
It takes it back to that, she said.
And you gotta move together.
I'm even to present them yourself in representation. I think the standard is more like. It's the laws. Even when you grow and say like, oh, I wanna minister to someone, you know, you take it and some people that approach you and say they're a Christian and want to talk to you about the gospel. You take reading, like, okay, like, you don't let you go today. So it matters. I thought about that too, recently, just was like, okay, if someone just came, I'm walking about and the time to share the gospel with them, or just give them a kind word or encourage them, like, am I ready? Do I look decent? And so it starts to take away even the confidence. Because you never know who you're gonna meet, right? Like, okay. My husband had a brunch for his parents, so the mentees that they support, and he asked me to coordinate with all the ladies to do a potluck to make the brunch for them. And I went the morning of, and my stomach was hurting, and I was like, oh, I was feeling like that thing is coming back that I haven't experienced enough, right? And like, what is this? It goes with you, right?
Oh, yeah, I will.
So it started feeling like it was coming back, and I haven't felt that pain in 2 years. So I was like, oh my goodness.
She was breastfeeding, you don't have a cycle of breastfeeding.
Really?
You do sometimes, sometimes you don't.
Yeah, you can then see.
And no,
Like, for me, mine came back within a few months, hers.
Wait, that's.
Hey, I gotta make sure everybody should.
You know, missing anything,
No, you're not breastfeeding. After, like,
you're normally not breastfeeding.
wait, so.
No, you're still breastfeeding, so mine came back like 2 months into breastfeeding, I breastfed till 18. So it just depends on the.
I'm trying to answer, but I've had a long break. So back to the number. Now I'm ashamed, and I'm like, what is this? Where, like, and I'm putting on that yoga pants, and I'm about to put on that hoodie, and as soon as I didn't even get out of the closet. So you can go in front of the parents, so we need to use that you're looking at the chicken. And I'm. And that's the question I had to do. And I stuck it up because I wanted to.
And I know, like, even when people go to church today, some churches. They go, however you go, and that's okay. But God expects us to change, because now you're coming before him. And you want to be before him.
I was actually just talking to my mom about that, and she had said that, but you know, she was talking about, you know, how it's always said, like, come on, she was like, if you are able to come better than that, then, you know, like, why are you not? So I was like, literally just talking. Yeah, I don't really like dressing down in church. My church has always been kind of like, I'll just have on like something nice to dress or some dress pants or something. Like, I don't know, just like, I just feel like it's like weird for me to like put my dress down in church.
It's the core. Yes. And that's what that just says, make boss. We have a lot of churches where we do, everybody in their real jeans.
And then now it's just, this, come as you are, whatever, like, that's not how it's supposed to be. But then, I'll, like, go to sleep, like, boom, they have something called Adam Sunday at the end of the month. Or you can dress like color you want. But my dad would never, ever put on those jeans and those my regular shirt and go to church. And even like my brother do the same, like, he always wear dress pants and always wear regular shirt or collar.
And you got, we do reading, that standard. People in peer groups and friends start dressing a certain way. Like I said, I got it on her, it's like. You put out to everything on it. You'll naturally be the influence. It was really best.
Next P, preparation. What I mean by preparation is preparing ahead of time to make the best decision. So why does preparation happen? When you're thinking about in a professional setting, why does that matter? I'm going to a job. Why do I need to be prepared? I don't know. First impressions are the last impression. A lasting impression. You don't want to get it in there and you don't have your stuff together. If you're talking about you want them to give you a job. You good job doing what? You haven't done anything to prepare for this. How do I know you're gonna prepare when it's time for you to go up and present our data or our research to somebody? How do I know you're gonna prepare for that? Or you're gonna make it look bad because you're not prepared? That's what that shows. So it's important to be prepared. That's why we stress to you guys this other part of IWN, the resume, the interview prep. All of that is important, is preparation, because we want you guys to present well. You go in front of an employer talking about, I need an internship. That makes sense? One time I was on campus, on the green, we were handing out, we got them doing things, I don't know, maybe try to get people to come to like a handbook workshop before we revamped it. And it was a career day on campus. Parker River Fair. And there was this girl, she was going, she looks nice, she was nice. She was going without a resume though. She didn't have a resume. So that says she is unprepared. Unprepared. So what was she gonna get up there and tell them? Hey, it's common sense. Some people, some sense.
And it's something people don't think that big, especially when you get to like the external ones, the people, the running mindset is, oh, all they gonna do is tell me to scan a QR code and apply online. So some people are like, literally like, I'm not bringing a resume, if that's what I'm gonna be met with. As opposed to, I'm still gonna bring a resume just in case, because you could still ask, hey, will you take a paper resume? Usually they'll say yes or no, apply online, but I'd love to see your initiatives, some people, I've done compliments on the paper of my resume, like, those things matter.
Everybody else is doing it. Never be calm. Never be different. Never be calm. And then when you have your resume should be prepared. That's all we tell you. Let us look over it. You know, let's take a look at it. You got to be writing on it. Not prepared. Not writing. You need to go on our website and pull down that resume templates and fill it out. But yes, preparation matters. You gotta book your 101. You're preparing. Preparation. What does poor preparation look like? I gave some examples. Somebody else got it.
Think of a situation.
Oh, situation.
Oh, I wanted, I can give one.
Go.
So I come, it's a virtual interview, right? This employer I'm really interested in, maybe I met them at the career fair on campus, and I get an interview with them, and I come and I'm wearing a tank top, no blazer. And so that's the presentation preparation. They asked me, oh, tell me a little bit about yourself. And I go and I start rambling about how I'm 20 years old and I have a cat named Molly. And I really like this company because y'all pay really well. And I saw that on Indeed and et cetera, et cetera. Yeah. And see.
There's so. And again, we have ways to prepare you. We have a whole interview packet that tells you how to answer the hard things, even the tell me about yourself. So if you guys go into an interview and you're not prepared, it's because you chose not to be prepared.
I was gonna say right now, I'm taking professional. A lot of this, but it has taught me some things that can create elevated. We were making watching videos. Yeah, that's what we're doing. Yeah.
It's necessary. You might not think it's necessary now when you get in front of an interview. Like, okay, how to get that, how to prepare.
So for my internship that I have this summer, they did I don't know, it was like a note before you go to the interview. And it was like, I promise you, like 200 people in that like little Microsoft Teams chat. So we joined and it's representatives from the company, people who are maybe even working, I think it was 2 people, 2 actual past interns, people that work for the company and everything. And they're talking and just like, this is stuff that you need to, I still have screenshots in my phone to this day before it. And they say something, one of the main dudes is like, oh, be mindful of what you're drinking. Right? If y'all don't know, I have an internship with PepsiCo on the summer. So essentially he was like, oh, be mindful of what like you have around you, of course your surroundings and everything, but be careful of like what you're drinking, meaning the bottle, right? This is PepsiCo. You should not be drinking Coke products, Powerade is a Coke product. And keep in mind, before, even in like the icebreaker, he was like, oh, welcome everybody. What's your favorite PepsiCo branded product? People are talking about insert Coke products here. Like they're literally saying like, so I don't know, I can't say to the extreme, but people are like saying like Coke Zero. Now, why would you have Coke in the thing? Like, but like stuff like that. And like he was really nice about it, because again, this is the must know before you go to the interview. This is the pre-interview. So it was like, oh, good, not a good answer, but like that's a Coke product, but you know, we had a lot of time, you know, he played it off. But if you go to an interview doing that, yeah. if you go to an interview doing that, you're gonna look stupid. So I made sure when I, for my virtual interview, I had my Gatorade bottle positioned. I said, yes, that's a great question to answer. And I would answer like this. So it matters. So like the preparation of just even knowing like, hey, if I'm interviewing for Pepsi, I'm not drinking Coke, I'm not drinking whatever else there is in the world. I like to have a clear bottle, clear glass. That's what one of the people said too. Just making sure. It was something else. I can't even remember a freaking Coke product right now.
What you gotta account for is the preparation is meant to help with that random happens, so that random is going to happen. So you gotta get ahead of the game and prepare what you can prepare, because you're gonna get that question like. But if you have been prepared up until, and you've been, voiced about everything else that you're doing, you won't let that slip up. It won't be such a detriment to you, because they look for ways to try to trip you up. But if you come in out the gate and you can't even get to the something about yourself, and you're like, oh, that's you, I'm not gonna do this whole thing.
It gave me a really good tip, and I think that's what made me my internship. I don't know if I ever told you this, but we had the internship one-on-one meeting, I'm pretty sure, before PepsiCo, or maybe even before like the whole whatever era. And so Ashley tells me, and she's just like, make sure you ask this one question. It's on the end of the interview preparation guide that's on the website. And the question is essentially, do you have any hesitations about my like X, Y, and Z in the role that would keep you from whatever, like hiring me, anything? And I asked that question and he was like, oh, I've never been asked that one. And I was and so and then of course he was like, oh, nothing comes to mind as of right now, but that was a really like informative question, and that really did. Of course, it was not said as how I said it, but that is on the end.
Now give these people a good little overview about the interview prep that we take you all through, that many of them don't know about and have not taken advantage of. They won't be the only ones, but.
They can really remember, like, I feel like Ashley and they, while it's different disciplines, right? Right, I'm nowhere in the software engineer, the CD, I'm not academia, nothing. I don't do that, but they come to you with what they have, what they know, and they've gone through the interview, right? So when they're like asking you the questions and like they're waiting for your answers and different things, they're not asking you in a way of like, oh, she gonna mess up and we wanna see her, it's more so of you're trying to get these mistakes out of the way now so that when you do the interview, you do go to like interview pre-checks, whatever, like how to do and how to do better than your counterparts. Because even if we want to, okay, I can only focus on my game and everything, you're still competing with all the other people that are in line for this internship or for this opportunity. So doing the interview prep really sets you apart, right? And it makes you kind of think through some of the questions that they might ask you. Some of the ways that you can answer a question, because there's different ways to answer questions, of course. I think they're one of the people that first told me that, like, so the STAR, the PAR method. Of course, as you get more and more into like answering, and figuring out like what examples to kind of draw from, because not every example is a good one. That's something I learned from you as well. Like if they ask you what was the last time you made a mistake, and you tell them, oh yeah, I made this mistake in scheduling and I missed an exam. I don't think they want you to fulfill the position, the role, or whatever that you're in the line for, because you just gave the example of, oh yeah, I just messed something up. And it just messed you up and you didn't really get anything from that. And it was a big thing, essentially. Understand what I'm saying? As opposed to, oh, there's a way that, something maybe skipped my mind, but right beforehand, I was able to remember, I picked it up at the end, and the result of this was me being able to make a better blah, Or I guess last year.
Yeah.
I did an externship, which is an online internship, unpaid with the company extern, so you guys can look into that, through that. This past summer, and then I was interviewing all of like August to, I think I might interview offer in October, November. So I was interviewing for minutes fourth, I guess. So it's like never too early to get an internship. I think that's something I talked to Cindy, like asked Cindy about as well. And actually, well, no, again, I came to Ashley and I remember I called her, or we had like a little and I told her all this stuff that I wanted from my first internship. Y'all, I think I sound like the most spoiled child ever. I was like, I want to see out of state. It gotta be this. I would like it to be this place, that place. And it was just like, I had a lot of things that I wanted from it. And while, yes, I did end up getting like an out-of-state internship and it's a wonderful opportunity, reputable company, but it's just like, when you don't know, you don't know. And you gotta rely on people that do have the experience or can like let you know, like, hey, like, try it, like, figure it out, we'll figure it out, like, we'll get there, as opposed to like, I'm only going for X, Y, and Z. You know, and like those rejections, you're gonna get rejections, but that should like stop you, essentially, this thing.
Those rejections are preparations.
Yeah.
So it gives you the opportunity to practice. So if you want to get better at speaking to people, you need to speak to people. That's why when Genevieve gets up here and she tells you about an event where you can go be amongst peers and network, it's important to take advantage of those things because you are preparing yourself. Yes, academics are important. That's part of preparation. But if you haven't done the other legwork, when that graduation date approaches and you're jobless, you're gonna feel that. And that's what we're trying to do. That's why we tell you guys to book the one-on-ones. Yes, our series and our workshops, going through the soul series, all of that is important. We want you guys to be well-rounded. You should do that with your one-on-ones with professional. Got it? Okay. All right. I think we covered this. Well, yes.
Meeting slot things you have, y'all ain't looking for it. See, and it's like out of 10 or 12 of them, that's how.
It's however's meeting you need. You
Yeah,
gotta get your internship. But people have come through, you're not just interviewing, you're not internships, you're gone into their jobs.
yeah,
Y'all, like this is professional development.
yeah.
Session. Okay.
They're very helpful, like, people,
And that was one thing I expressed in the office.
yeah.
Hey.
Think we judge?
No.
I'm like, well, you look at.
Judge you? We're opening on because we want you guys to make it. We have made mistakes and we want y'all to learn from our mistakes and not do it the same stuff. At least I. Yeah. Take part in the professional development side of this.
You
Some people be texting us when you graduate. I'm really good. Like, can you help me?
Yeah.
I need to. Yeah, to get those two. Oh, really?
You can show up to that meetings, have you?
only professional development, so they can't see you. It was like their focal point was professional development, so they really, when they talk about the revamp, they literally put heart, sweat, tears, soul, everything into revamping it, so it would benefit us in this. Not to say that the professional development aspect, and they're not paying themselves, but not to say that the professional development aspect, that it wasn't official, initially, was not also very beneficial. That's it.
All right.
Been there, Rachel.
These are some things that are gonna help. As far as preparation goes, showing up to your interview guide. Number one, be on time. If you're turning the curve, your interview's at 11 a.m. and you're turning the curve at 2:59 on 2 wheels, that's an issue. You need to be on time and not on 2 wheels, okay? Be on time and not on 2 wheels, remember that. Okay? You running out the car, you barefoot, trying to throw your heels on, trying to run the building, they're watching. That woman in that window watching you. She was going to tell you on you, so be prepared and she needs help. right? Especially with the one in traffic. Have a resume and know what it says. Don't get to the interview and they say something to you, be like, oh, I did that. Don't do that. Know what it says. So if you're using ChatGPT or Claude or whatever it's called, know what it's typing, know what it's saying. Don't copy paste and drop it there. And you know what it
I
says.
just saw that AI.
So, what's this? And don't use big words on your resume. You don't know that word. You don't do that. Okay. Have an elevator pitch. Have yours. Have an elevator pitch can help with all of these things. You never know who you will meet. Think about it like this. You're somewhere. You have a company in your mind that you want to work for. You jump on the elevator. The CEO of that company is there and they start a casual conversation. They ask you, what do you want to do? What do you do? What's your elevator pitch? 30 seconds. You should have it prepared. You guys are in college or looking for a job. You should be prepared. You stay ready. Okay. Be willing to have a conversation. Never know who you're in front of. The person at the grocery store might have the company that she's working for, and she has, you know, the end to the internship department. Be willing to have a conversation with your professors. Be willing to go and talk to them. That's how I got set up. I needed some money because grad school was expensive. So I'm like, do you have a graduate assistantship open? He was like, yes, you can, you know, apply and compete for it this summer. All right. I competed so well with the other person, we both got it. And I got my graduate assistantship paid for, or my master's degree paid for the rest of that school year. And it opened the door for me to get the job that I have now. Because I actually did a practice in that in that, and they hired. Be willing to have a conversation, especially with professors. You have some conversation with your professor.
Yeah, I had a professor my freshman year who just kind of saw me during class, the interaction was my introductory computer science class. Asked me to come to his office. I was like, sir, we're here. I came and he opened the door up for me to do research, to expand in that research, to be able to travel to Seattle, Orlando, Penn State while I was in college, which then led to internships every summer. I mean, just that one interaction, being present in class, I didn't do too much as far as like being openly, you know, forward, but he just took a notice to me and now, you know, preparing myself in that introductory computer science class, and I was able to just build upon that.
You read podcasts and class.
Absolutely.
Lastly, dress well. Just talk about that presentation. Dress well. We'll take you through that as well. We will help you go to the store and think, you've done that, you've done this. Don't know what to wear. We're there for the whole night. We're here for the long haul. And personality. It's our last name. Do you feel the need to be someone you are not in a professional setting?
I don't know. My sister, she has very, I don't know, like biased opinions about how someone should kind of like be, act, look. And so that kind of like exited to me a little bit too. Like I remember that I went to Texas this past August and
Vending machines.
Yeah, what did I say? August, Texas, yes, and I had my hair low and my professional slacks, heels, flats on, whatever, blouse and everything. And then the only thing, I sent the pictures to my family chat. And the only thing she felt necessary to comment on was my hair. And I don't know if this deems like a personality and everything, but it was just like, she was like, oh, that's not really like how you should dress, act like how you should present yourself. And I think it stemmed from like her opinions about my hair, because I can talk about with y'all, my family was against me cutting my hair, to say the least. So I think, and I feel like kind of like your second or last side, like be yourself. If you don't feel confident, if you don't feel good in the things that you are, you're not going to. And at the moment I did, but afterward it was kind of like, oh, maybe I should have changed how I presented myself so that maybe in case that they thought differently about me, right? When the short case probably was, oh, you were doing fine, you were acting, personality was fine, but it was just my sister's idea or opinions of it.
Conscious.
Yeah,
So therefore you could not be fully confident.
yeah.
Don't want that. So there's no need not to be yourself. It is what it is. You fit the job culture, you don't. But there is a difference in being professional and being fake. So if I go into a professional setting, I need to match the point of that setting. I need to talk. I should not be talking about things that have no business being in that specific environment. That's professionalism. You know, you shouldn't be listening to Cardi B, whoever else. But don't be talking about Cardi at work. Like, why? Why are you doing that? Don't do that. That's not professional. And I'm not telling you to put on airs, but keep it professional. All right? Keep it professional, not fake. Professional.
Do you think it's like reasonable for people having to like code switch or just do different things to be perceived in the light that they want to be perceived in? Or would that also be classified as like the being fake instead of being professional? And this could be for everything.
Did you say that?
That was the basically say very, in my boss is not to.
You mean code switching in the sense of like,
So I just want you to pull
code switching as in like, I feel like there's code switching as in like how you talk to your friends, versus like how you talk to your parents, versus like how you talk to your brother. Or like code switching like Black people talk.
like I feel all of it is code switching. So like if you feel the need to do so to be a professional.
And if you feel like they're gonna be like acting some type of way, I don't know. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. Sometimes it's like, yeah, I guess it just depends. Like I feel like know your audience, I guess. Knowing your audience, and if you feel like they're gonna have some sort of stigma or whatever, or like some people genuinely can't understand like AAP and stuff like that. So I say know your audience.
However you want to describe code switching, I think it can still be referred to as professionalism. Because if you're switching from saying, I with my husband and myself, I'm gonna say ain't, I'm gonna get in a little country, and the accent probably is gonna come out, I'm from a little country town. When I go into work, that ain't is not gonna be, it's gonna be, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's what professional is.
What you gotta get to is, you have to monitor yourself. So in different environments, how does your insides feel? I was starting off in work, and every time I had a one-on-one with, the associate director of such and such, I would get nervous. And I'm like, I have to do this every month. Like, I shouldn't be nervous to speak to a human being. So, in that, you might put on and, speak and do different things, but I had to monitor my insides. Like, you're just so I didn't feel like, bent out of shape because I'm talking to you. Yes, we can be professional. professional, but I'm still gonna be myself. And I had to work through those layers because you're gonna meet people, and if you feel that this is somebody important, at that point, I think you're taking it to a point of being big, because now you can relax, it's just the person.
It's something I.
That's all we're saying.
I don't know why. We'll just let her. So, be yourself. You are enough. The Bible says you are accepted in the beloved. You're enough. You're enough. Be yourself. You don't have to be like everybody else. You don't have to act like everybody else. You don't have to be scared of anything. Do not fear me. Good. Questions?
It's a good vibe.
That's all I have for y'all. Hope this was beneficial, as far as professional etiquette goes. A lot of plugs in there for IWN professional development. Make sure you look at it. And not just this semester, but you join us next semester. I mean, this is an ongoing thing. Freshman all the way to senior. And then when you get into adulthood, it's time to start talking about adulting one-on-one. How do you deal with life? So Cincinnati. So yeah, I don't need my W-2 or take out a 401k, those things matter. All right, we're here for all of that. We've had our adulting one-on-one series before we did the revamp. So these things, and we have all the resources and stuff. What else? If you're here on Saturday, be on time. Questions? What time is it? 8:30 on Saturday? 10:45. 10:45. Kayla, do the things the night before, write everything out or whenever beforehand. You can do this. Next week, that Thursday, we will do formal etiquette. You are to sit in chair at a table. Tonight, put you in the chair, how you're supposed to speed up and all that stuff. How you're supposed to eat your food. A proper setting. Yeah, so we gotta pull out all the stuff and set up the tables and all of that, so.
Yeah, we have a guest, you know,
Like for all of us?
Yes.
That's all. Think like, I see boards.
Yeah, but.
They didn't have any training
Hear
here.
it, and they should go to that chair. I mean, sorry, they should go speak to it, and then they go, and then.
Yeah, James Bond's fine.
So for the file.
April 17th at 1:30 p.m.
Post after the.
Yeah.
After
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Wait,
Yes, ma'am. No, it's gonna, well, so yeah, I'll be wanting to do the whole carpooling situation. Things
For what?
for the team.
Genevieve, get with people, find out if they need it. So you see the list online. Member track. And bring. With those people, see who have a card, arrange things, and then if people realize start to know, I'm open from it.
Do you know how long? the concert is gonna be? You know how long? We don't have work Friday.
Janara, we need to talk.
All right, so. Actually, I feel like you have a question. You know, Francis, you know how to book it. Yeah. I don't want to get, move this one start.
Okay. Well, which number is this? It's good, but it's a little too sweet. Okay, it was the, oh, that was a, thank you. That wasn't our big.
So this is our fall culmination event. If you guys are in it next semester, you will experience this. And we're not supposed to have a lot of seats.
Oh, my, oh, look at me.
That's what we get.
That's our cohort.
Oh, I'm not sure. I would love to.
Yeah. What happened? Like, they were just, you know, talking first.
I had hair guys.
I love these pictures.
So what?
And the one from the slide for the personality, that picture's so cute. One person.
Oh, that's nice.
I'm very sorry.
Really sweet.
That's not. How is he?
Yeah, I feel like we have to do like more stuff. That's like, you know, it's a good thing.
So I will tell you, we have fully planned out next semester, or fall semester, but one thing we're thinking about doing to chunk off our semester. After the workshop, we'll do a fellowship community, and then we'll culminate with outing cookout over at Kennesaw Mountain. Our investments will come real. Yes, looking at on. Okay, Sandy, you got that, you got it. So whenever you guys want to go book for next, sign up for next semester is open.
The discount,
Like it's on the side.
return.
What is it? Return, please, return 26, all caps. Return 26. Because in case you go to membership, I definitely run a case and cohort you select. Fill out that information, put in that, you can check out, and then you'll put in return 26 and discount code box and on your way. We do have, so that cohort last fall was about a little over 40 people, I think. So we do have a larger cohort in the fall, and we have been capping, so can you get in early, because you gotta remember freshmen are coming in. And they be trying to join you.
I do. Also thinking about
I just.